Hello, are you ready for another cup of tea with me? I didn't know how I was going to do this again, but I've heard that a little bit of comfort from me blathering on to you, so I thought I'd do it again. And if you get bored with me, I'm going to stop doing it. So, how are you today? My teacup today is brought to you by my friend Sammy. Thank you, Sammy. It arrived in the post, and it was a really happy thing to get, you know, when you're sitting in the house on your own and you get a parcel. So I've got Moomin's cup today. Have you got your favourite cup? So how are you feeling? I must admit yesterday was a bit of a bad one. Well, not bad, but I've had a bit of a headache, and today still the same. My energy levels are not the greatest, but it's about working with where you are and accepting where you are and not pushing it, not blaming yourself for not being able to do what you think you should be doing. You know, just now, there's no rules apart from staying in your house and not being silly, spreading this coronavirus. So it's about having, I think, speaking your truth and integrating your shadow selves with yourself, you know, and not doing all this unauthentic positivity, you know, just so that people like you, or, you know, it's really like about it's having the courage to be authentic and saying, look, today's a little bit shite, you know. I'm really missing my family today. I'm missing affection and cuddling. So everyone's going through something, and I'm just sharing this. Yeah, but again, this is a time to not walk away from your yoga practice if you have one. This is the time to really step up, not step out. If you step out, you're gonna lose the flow. You know, so bear with me. There is a theme today, but I've got so much I wanted to share, and I don't want to blather too much and bore you. So I've found that part of my meditation and part of the self-isolation, there is a lot of trying to, you are becoming more aware. Things are changing, and it's changing for everyone. So even for those who weren't wanting to evolve and grow, there's no other way. We're all changing. There's changes happening. We all have to do something. We're not all coming out of this unscathed, or you know, there's some sort of changes that are going to be made that are going to be positive as well, you know, but we need to reduce the expectation of what needs to be done. We need to think of new strategies, new needs for what do we need, what do the people around us need, and what are we doing this for, you know. Things that we were planning on doing, can they still be done? It doesn't matter right at this moment. The most important moment is just now. So today's theme is equanimity, which means a lot to me. It's from Sutra 22, in Patanjali's sutras. And a way of gaining some sort of equanimity, which I'm going to go into further, is just by stilling the breath, by trying to, I would say, if you're not used to doing breathing techniques, a couple of times a day, check in with your breath. Make sure your spine is long, and breathe into the count of 4 and breathe out to the count of 4, slowly and smoothly, you know, and then you'll be aware of your erratic breath can lead to an erratic mind. And if you are a yogi, if you're used to some of the practices, Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing, you know, 3 times a day is a great one. A lot of my friends practice Nadi Shodhana, sunrise, sunset, and midday. You know, I'm a little bit more sporadic, but I do practice Nadi Shodhana every day, and it is helping me find that sense of stability. So stability resides in the heart chakra and anahata chakra, and I think some of the reason I've been getting terrible headaches, I'm hoping it's not anything to do with what I'm waiting for with the biopsy results. I believe it's just I've been really working with so much intuition, the third eye, you know, so peace resides in the third eye, and I'm really trying to work through finding some peace. You know, so everyone is trying to find some way of what do we need to bring to ourselves, what do we need to bring into our lives. And there's been something that's been really, a lot of my friends and my students have realised that patience is something that the universe keeps trying to tell me I need more of. You know, and I've always thought, you know, I'm actually okay with that. I'm practicing acceptance, doing my thing. But my way of stepping out of that, I've realised, because there is nowhere else to go right just now. Instead of being, I have a habit of doing. I'm a very busy person normally, so this is a really great test for me. Well, it's not a great test. No tests are great, are they? But it's going to help. You know, last year I was supposed to be getting a hysterectomy. In May, I got myself prepared in all sorts of ways, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, physically. And it was delayed because obviously our NHS is really, you know, quite strange just now. And it didn't happen until August. And then I had to practice patience. I've not been able to practice yoga or teach for almost 3 months, which was very challenging. I came out of that thinking, yeah, I've learned a little bit of patience. Some of you will be aware that I've been going through the process of trying to set up a yoga studio, and there's been so many obstacles that have been put in my way. There's a lot of waiting, lots of legal tape and things like that. So it started in December, and I was just about to sign on the dotted line. Everything was good to go, and this happened. And whether it's going to happen after this, I don't know, because I don't know what the results of my biopsy are going to be. I don't know if the money that I was going to be borrowing is still going to be available because of the stock market crash. So I am just really, I've spoken to some of my friends about this, that I've realised that, you know, because I have this biopsy thing hanging over me, this is another patience thing, because of all these things, when you've got everything to lose, because I don't feel you know, it's not abhinivesha, one of the last kleshas, the fear of death. I'm not scared of dying. I just don't want to leave my children yet. And I don't want to leave, I want to still grow and evolve and share. So I'm not ready to go. So I'm now, it's almost like when you've got, you know, when you've got everything to lose, it almost is a paradox in the fact that you've got nothing to lose. So it's given me a sense of freedom. So I'm feeling more free, that there's nothing to prove, nothing to do. I just have to really get into my practice and do my thing. And this is where equanimity comes into things, you know. So we really need to try and still the mind. And the mind this is where fear resides in the mind. And fear comes from a sense of duality and a sense of separateness, us and them, or, you know, good or bad. You know, it's almost like the limbic reptilian way from the caveman days, where we needed that to survive. You know, a woolly mammoth comes into your cave. We need to know if it's good or bad so we can make a decision right there and then. So now we still have that, but we need to try and release that fear, transmute it. I mean, it's good to have that sense of that, you know, don't put your finger in a light switch, you know, as we say to our toddlers. But it's about trying to clear the fluctuation of the mind and not come from a fear-based, you know, we come from love, or try to. You know, it's perfectly normal to feel fear just now, because there's a bit of a fear of the unknown, you know. So the mind there's two parts. It's exploitation, exploration, and the exploitation thing is that using what we know, what we thought or felt in the past, so we can, it repeats itself, so we can know how to react. But if we come from a trauma-based thing from our past, we're going to keep making the same mistakes. So if we come more from an exploration point of thing, we're finding new neural pathways. So it's trying to come out of the manas mind and move into bodhi mind. You know, some of my yoga students will be aware of that. You know, I'm going to go deeper into that, but I'm not going to bore you with too much. So equanimity, I'm going to do this in 2 parts because some of my yoga students have heard this the thing I'm going to read to you so many times. They'll be not my yoga students, more my graduates and trainees, but I think it's really important and I really want to share that with you. So the second part will be that, and some of you want to hear it again, or you know, because it's really relevant to what's going on today, and it's been helping me so much. There's a story in it that applies to what's going on for us just now, you know. So for anyone who's practicing asana, yoga practices, we can use our practice to help still the mind. You know, so we can cultivate 2 of the mind's inherent qualities, equanimity and inner illumination, by practicing, which is absolutely outrageously good. And using twists. Now if you've got disc issues, twists are not good for you. Okay, so practice with awareness. Twists are sattvic, so it brings more purity in you from the gunas. I'm going to talk deeper. So they give you more clarity and purity. They're also tridoshic, so they balance all 3 body types. So twists build samana, which is with the equalizing force as well. And stored in your abdomen is one of 10 types of prana in the body. And samana's role is to enhance mental and physical stillness, which is what we're looking for right just now. Okay, it gives us the capacity to slow down, to rest, and to process what you take in, which is, here we go, we need a bit of twisting in our lives, yeah? So the key to twisting is the relationship between the hips, the shoulders, and the head. And when you're twisting, you need to stabilize at least 1, okay? And it makes sense that so seated twists are the most powerful, and they do require the most preparation, caution. So it does make sense to do standing twists, lying twists first before you do a seated twist. But if you do it with awareness and they're not so deep, because I do sometimes start with a seated twist, the twists bring out tension and stress. So I'm going to leave you and meet me at the next part, and I'm going to read you a little piece on equanimity. So if you want to go and grab another cup of tea, or if you've not grabbed a cup of tea, go and get one. And if I've not bored you, go on to the part 2. I'm popping it on my YouTube channel. I sound like a right dick for saying that, sorry about that. And I'll see you soon, hopefully. Bye.